Good morning. My name is Tunde Legbede. I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Lagos Department of Employment Relations and Human Resource Management. Today we'll be looking at the part two of the multiple job holding. In the part one, we discuss the meaning of multiple job holding and the twin nomenclature for multiple job holding known as moonlighting and as well as the legal moonlighting. So today we'll be looking at illegal moonlighting. Illegal moonlighting is usually done without the knowledge of the primary employers, without the permission of the primary employer. And of course, workers perform both duties during the time allowed for the primary job. So normally, it is illegal when you have a secondary job that the hours of work is usually in conflict with the hours of work in your primary place of assignment. And most workers in Nigeria, especially in the public sector, are guilty of these illegal moonlighting job. Because most often they have other jobs that the hours of work run uh, simultaneously with the hours of work in their primary place of assignment. So that is what makes it illegal. And most often the activities are usually performed in the informal sector of the Nigerian economy. So, and that make them to be able to evade tax. So, and that's also increase the volume of uh, activities they need. People want to get involved in it because it's an alternative form of making money. It's an alternative form to augment their pay, especially with the harsh reality of economic conditions in Nigeria. So, and they can able to evade tax performing economic or commercial activities in that sector. So, and that is what makes it more illegal. It is not performed in the formal sector. It is done without the permission of the employers. The employers are not aware of it, and the hours of work is usually in conflict with hours of work in the primary place of assignment, and there is tendency for the operators in the informal sector to evade tax. Reasons for multiple job holding. There are so many reasons that those involved in it the categories of workers that got involved in it uh, as advocated for reason in engaging in multiple job holding. One of the reasons is to augment pay. Now, the essence of multiple job holding is because in your primary place of assignment, your take-home pay cannot take you home, especially when the cost of living is on the high side. Taking for instance the Nigerian economic situation now, the inflationary rate is uh, extremely high. So that implies that the real wage has been affected. And if the real wage is affected, negatively affected, it implies that the purchasing power of the money which you receive at the end of the month cannot be able to make it to cope with the high cost of living. So in that regard, we need to augment that pay. And in the process of augmenting pay, the only accessible things you can do is to have a second job. And that is more reason why most people engage in alternative form of employment or especially in the informal sector. So the basic reason why workers engage in multiple job holding is to augment pay. Some other reason advocated by operators or by those involved in multiple job holding or moonlighting job is that they are less work at the primary place of work. You know, in analyzing labor supply, you are going to consider two things. The first one is the wage rate, and the second one is the leisure hour. So if workers enjoy more leisure, they can decide to forgo wages. But however, in this case, if they have less hours of work they have leisure, they can decide to use their leisure. It's either this way or that way. If you want to enjoy more leisure, that means you are comfortable with the wage rate you are receiving in your primary place of assignment. But if you are not comfortable with the wage you are receiving in your primary place of assignment, and your take-home pay cannot take you home, then you need to convert your leisure hours to economic benefits. So that is why some workers have that tendency to engage in moonlighting job. And at times to gain experience, like lecturers at the Faculty of Law, where they also run their own chamber, they appear in court, but that gives them a lot of first-hand knowledge to apply in the classroom to test theoretical facts and blend practice with theory. And also lecturers that engage in consultancies is also one of the reasons why people engage in multiple job holding. And also in the organized private sector, where you have high flyers employee that are engaged in classroom teaching, like in fellowship, where they also apply some practical knowledge to the classroom teaching, especially those in the organized private sector with a PhD. They may likely want to impart knowledge in the classroom in order to gain that teaching experience as well. Then at times, if you have a lot of leisure in your workplace, on hours of work not used, you can use it to help your friend or relative. It depends on the individual in that regard, what you want to use your leisure hour for. Then maybe your regular job is not related to your training or education. For, like I said earlier, those that have PhD and they find themselves working in the industry, and they may decide to engage in secondary job, which has to do with teaching, in order for them to be able to use their training and education. And of course, lastly, maybe because you enjoy that second job. For instance, the second job has to do with passion. What you actually have passion for. For instance, if you have passion for footballing, you can take footballing as a secondary job. If you have passion for table tennis, you can take table tennis as a secondary job. Or you have passion for teaching, you can take teaching as a secondary job. We have so many people doing fantastic, very well in the organized private sector, but yet they still engage in one form of teachings, teaching in the classroom, teaching in the university, in secondary school. It depends the enjoyment you derive from having a second job at times maybe as a result of the passion you have for the job. That's these are some of the reasons why workers engage in multiple job holding. So we continue in the next lecture series. Thank you very much.